guys, it's Taylor back with Life with Taylor, and today we are going to be reading some Reddit updates. So let's get into it. Okay, the first one. Every year, my boyfriend 21 male and I 22 female go on a break because he doesn't know what he wants. I'm gonna already say that this is probably so that he can be with somebody else, but my boyfriend and I have been together 5 years. We've always been great together, and there's no one else in the world I'd rather be with. We make each other laugh, we like the same things, we have our own hobbies so we don't drive each other crazy, and we've been through so much as a couple. I'm in graduate school and a state away from him, about a 4-hour drive. We went into long distance fairly easily, so it blindsided me when he suddenly told me he didn't know if our relationship is what he wants. He always struggled with the fear of commitment, something I've tried to support him through by trying not to pressure him into moving forward. The problem is that every year for the last 3 years, he's gone through a struggle with wanting to be with me. He wants to take a break from our relationship and be separate for a while. While I've agreed to the last 2 years, every year so far he's come back saying he was being stupid and that he regrets ever being on a break. We talk through things and move forward. I thought after last year we'd be done with it, but today he gave me the same speech he's always given about wanting a break and wanting space. I put us on the break this time because I don't want to beg him to stay with me. I'm blindsided by this whole thing, and I'm so confused about where it comes from. We're so great for 90% of the year, and then the end of March comes around and he freaks out and wants to break up with me. He says he loves me and always will, but doesn't know what he wants. If he comes back again, do I take him back? I don't know what to do. No, girl. I don't think so. But one of the relevant comments says, always the same timing? He's up to something. Same trip, event, regular, visit home by his ex, something he's not admitting. Anyways, this whole setup is BS. You've been together since you were kids. You have changed, grown, and in my opinion, probably grown apart. Most teen relationships time out when you go to college. This one lasted longer than most, but still is, again, in my opinion, overdue to end anyways. OP replied, this time of year is when he gets really busy and overwhelmed with school. I attribute the timing to that. I don't suspect anything else is going on behind my back. He's a really good person and not at all the type to be sneaky. I told him not to contact me unless he's willing to fight for me this time. I would feel really stupid if I hadn't wasted 5 years. I just scrolled ahead and we're right. It's been about 4 months since my first post, and I thought I'd post an update. Looking back on this post, I can't believe what a difference 4 months has made. After posting it, I read my own words and realized that the relationship was over. I was making excuses for him and justifying staying miserable in the relationship because I just loved him so much. Love makes people do stupid things. We had a talk when I visited my hometown and broke up. We both were emotional and knew it was for the best. And I was content thinking we were going to spend time being single and discovering who we are as individuals after being so close for so long. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I found out he had been cheating on me for at least a couple months before telling me he wanted another break. He began officially dating the new girl about 3 days after we broke up, and he moved in with her after a couple of months of dating. He's always been super resistant to commitments before that, so that came as a shock. My self-esteem took a huge hit. Oh, geez. I mean, like, seeing it from, like, that, it's like, yeah, girl, he's probably cheating. But she's like, no, he's nice. He would never do anything like that. Right. Now things are different. I discover new things about myself every day. I spend time with my friends who make me feel loved and important, and I'm truly happy for the first time in a long time. At first, I wanted to start dating again, and I told myself I was ready. But the truth is that there's so much I don't know about myself yet, and I want to get to know me before I focus on another relationship. Anyway, thank you to the people who commented and let me know that something was going on. As obvious as it was to them, I was completely blindsided. I'm just grateful to be out of the situation, and I'm excited for what's ahead. I think that's a good ending. I think it's great now that you are focusing on yourself and you are out of that relationship. Yeah. It does seem like, you know, when you love someone, it's hard to even comprehend that they could be something other than what you see them as. You know, like a good, faithful person. It's crazy to even think that somebody, you know, could cheat, you know? But let's move on to the next one. He wants to call off my divorce because my cancer treatment was successful. When I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, he filed for divorce because it said it would be too much to take care of me. Right. It's very unfortunate and sad that people do this. In my province, you have to live separately and apart for 1 year before divorce is granted. Since he left, I've had surgery and chemotherapy, and my last checkup shows no evidence of disease. That is great. When he found that out, I don't know how, he applied in court to withdraw the divorce application. He told me we can stay married since I'm no longer sick, and was actually shocked when I blocked the divorce withdrawal petition through my own lawyer. I don't want to be married to him after what he did. Yeah, I completely agree. If that person cannot be with you through thick and thin, through the lowest of lows and the highest highs, then I don't think they are deserving to spend the rest of life with that person, you know? And this person, when it got low, may not have even been the lowest low, but a pretty low. They dipped. And then he's like, oh, actually, you're better now, so. Like, who's to say something that low won't happen again, you know? Or something even worse. I don't even know what would be worse, but yeah. I think he made the right decision. 3.5 years later. Oh my God. This was just at the beginning of March. My divorce was made official yesterday. It takes that long to get a divorce? It's over. 4.5 years of hell and being in limbo, and now it is over. Last night was probably the best sleep I've had in years. Maybe only second to the day I was told there was no evidence of disease. I feel like shouting from the rooftops because I'm free. I'm very glad that this person, you know. Oh wait, is there an update? Blah blah blah. One comment said, happy you got rid of both cancers. That I feel like is an amazing comment. I feel like it really just, because it's like those people are diseases who literally attach to you. They're like parasites. They only do it to benefit themselves at some point. Or, you know, they don't actually, it's not mutual, you know? Let's read the last one. I've been pretending to like hiking for 7 years. My 27 female fiance, 28 male, and I met in college, and I was pretty much head over heels immediately. We were friends for a couple of months, and he's always been an active guy. So one day I decided to lie and tell him I liked hiking and offered to go with him sometime in hopes that we'd get closer with some alone time. It worked, since after some time of going on hikes together, where I was absolutely miserable the entire time, he eventually asked me out and we started dating. Our relationship has been good, no major problems ever since. The only issue is that I hate hiking. I've never been an active person, like at all. We live in a state that is very hot most of the year, so I'm completely miserable all the time on our hikes. But I always go with him because it means a lot to him, and I like spending time with him. Last month, he proposed to me, and ever since we've been swept up with wedding planning, he's even started about having kids and when we went to start a family. I think it's 7 years is kind of crazy, but I think eventually, like, if that's his hobby, you know, I feel like if you told him, hey, I don't really enjoy hiking, it may hurt him, but I mean, if he truly loves you, he would see, I don't know, maybe you could figure something out. Like, I love hiking. I love nature. I love being out in nature. And we used to hike a lot, but it's kind of hard to now. It's getting hotter. My sister is not an active person besides, you know, getting up to go get a snack, you know, and, you know, running around the house. But I think if you kind of, it is hot here, so we don't go hiking as much, but maybe if you get, like, we have some neck fans, maybe that would make the experience a little less bearable. And maybe if you really, you know, tell him, hey, I don't like hiking, but I love hiking with you, you know, spin it some way to, like, tell him the truth, okay? I feel awful that our relationship started out on a lie, and I love him with all my heart, but I just can't stand hiking. Over the years we've been together, I've tried so hard to get into it, but I still just absolutely hate the activity. The only part of it that I liked is the fact that we can spend time together alone while on a hike. The worst part is that now that we're getting married, I'm moving into his place, which means I can't make up an excuse as to why I can't go hiking with him anymore, since he'll know I'm not busy if I'm just hanging out at home. If there was any way I could make myself enjoy the exercise, I would. Unfortunately, nothing has worked yet. At least he's making me be more active. Yeah. One person said, okay, you have two choices. The first is to come clean. That would be ideal, and I do really think your relationship can survive. I agree. The second is having a bit of personal renaissance. Get really into another hobby or working out in a gym or make standing plans with friends. Anything that makes you unavailable for regular hikes. Not ideal, but it gets you out of the mess indirectly. Pick one before the wedding so he doesn't have the mistaken impression that he's marrying a lifetime hiking buddy. 7 years is long, though. Update. Nobody really asked for an update, but I figured I'd give you one anyway, just so all you know, your advice didn't go to waste. I went to my fiance's house, and when he got home from work yesterday to drop off some of my boxes for my stuff, I ended up telling him. I tried not to be confrontational at all, and just confess that I never really liked hiking all that much, and only kept doing it so we could spend more time together, and suggested that maybe we find something else to do together regularly. Apparently, like a couple people guessed, he already sort of knew. He told me that based on how I'd be insanely tired all the time or always mumbling to myself about the heat or bugs or something. He had guessed about 3 years ago that I wasn't into hiking as he was. He said he didn't mind finding something else to do together instead, but he liked being able to stay active and spend time with me while doing it. I offered, against my better judgment because I love this man, to go hiking with him every once in a while instead of every time I don't have an excuse. So that's the plan going forward. The only thing with the conversation that he was understandably a bit hurt that I felt like I had to hide it from him and that he wouldn't understand or would love me less if I didn't enjoy this one thing. Looking back, it was so completely dumb to hide something so minimal from him for so long, and I expressed it to him. He was very understanding and very sweet about it, not nearly as angry as I was afraid he would be when I was dreading having this conversation, lol. And yes, he does still want to marry me, even though I won't be his hiking buddy for life now. Kind of a boring update, maybe not an explosive argument some of you might have been expecting, but there it is. I think that was a great resolution. I also think, I had a feeling that the relationship was going to survive if you said, hey, I don't really like this hobby that, you kind of partake in. And I think having a conversation about that and adapting, trying something new that both of you would enjoy, while also continuing to hike, to spend quality time together and get exercise and get out and about. I think that was a great conclusion and a great ending. But let me know down below. And while you're down there commenting, click all the buttons. You know what to do. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world viewing this, and peace.